So hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be solving the question count digits in a number. So if you look at the objective of this question over here, says that you are required to count the number of digits in a number, right? And you have to take input in the number of for which the digits are to be counted, and we have to print the digits in that number. So for example, if we have a number 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Now what are the number of digits in this number, right? So one digit, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So there are a total of 6 digits in this number. So our output would be 6, right? I hope you got the question. You can try this question on your own, and what we will be utilizing is our basic capability of looping over a number. We will be using while loop to do so, and try to figure it out how we can solve this, right? So talking about the solution of this question, right? So before solving this question, I would like to draw a point that whenever we divide a number by 10, divide a number by 10, what we get is a number which is less than 1th value, right? So what do I mean by that? We have a number, let's suppose, which is 4 to 5, 6 and 7, right? Now if I divide this number by 10, then what I'm saying is what I would get as a number as my quotient is a number without the ones digit. So the ones digit would be eliminated, right? So we would get 4, 2, 5 and 6, right? And again, if I divide 4, 2, 5, 6, this number again by 10, what I would get is 4, 2, 5, right? So one's digit from here gets eliminated, right? So let's write this in a more proper form, right? Let's write this in a more proper form. Let's suppose I have this, and I have the number, right? I have the number 4, 2, 5, 6 and 7, right? So if I divide this by 10, right? If I divide this number by 10, what I would get as quotient is 4, 2, 5, 6 and 7 as remainder, right? So this is my remainder, these are my quotient, right? Again, if I divide this by 10, what I would get is 4 to 5 over here and 6 as the remainder. Then again, if I divide by 10, I get 42 and 5 over here. Again by 10, 4 and 2 over here. And again, if I divide this by 10, I will get 0 over here and 4 as the remainder, right? As soon as I get 0, if I divide this again by 0, what I would get is 0 again, right? So it would stop when I get 0, right? So if we count the number of tens that we have done, the number of operations that we have done, right? The number of times we have divided the number by 10. These are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? And if we count the number of digits in this number, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? So the number of times you divide the number by 10 is equal to the count of the digits in that number. And that is happening because every time we are dividing the number by 10, we are eliminating a digit, right? We are eliminating a digit from the end. So that's why our number keeps on reducing, and at the end what we get is a single digit, which we also eliminate, right? So the number of times we perform the operation is equal to the count of digits, right? So let's see how we can code this, right? So what we have to do is take input of a number n, right? That's all, right? So we have already learned how to take inputs. Scanner C, new scanner system.n, right? And n equals to sc.nextEnd. Now, what I'm saying is I would divide this number by 10, right? And I would divide this number by 10 until this number becomes 0, right? That means I would stop whenever this number becomes 0. If you see over here, if this was my number n, as soon as my n became 0, I stopped dividing this number by 10, right? So if I had to write this, what we can use is a while loop, right? So we can have a while loop that runs until my n becomes 0, right? So whenever my n is non-zero, I would run this number, right? And at each and every iteration of this number, what I would have is a digit, which is 0. I would have digit incremented, right? What we were doing is we were just dividing the number by 10, right? So this particular line, what it does is if we have a number 425, it divides it by 10, right? And it fills that value of n, if it fills that value in the n variable itself. So if I write this more properly, if we had a number n equals to 425, what would happen is over here, 425 would be divided by 10, right? Right. So n equals to n by 10 would mean 425 is divided by 10, and then it would be fed in n. Right. This would mean n would become 42. Right. And this is exactly what we were doing over here. Right. We were dividing and then n became 42. Right. So if we come back, now we know what our code is doing. Now at every iteration, whenever I'm dividing by 10, what I'm also doing is increase the number of digits. Right? And at the end of this loop, when my n becomes 0, my number of digits would be in the variable digit. So if I print this and if we run this, we should get our answer, right? So we are getting a compilation error. That's because we missed a semicolon over here, right? If we run this again, then it's passing our test case, right? So let's submit it for all the test cases. It's taking a bit of time. Let's see if it works or not. So it works finally, right? So we're getting 10 out of 10, which is a correct answer. So if we look closely, what we did was simply divide a number by 10 again and again, eliminating each and every digit one by one. And as we are eliminating digits, we are counting them in a digit variable, right? So I hope you understood this. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.